Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be covering some Diablo 4 news. Now to dive right in, we are going to be talking about the Diablo 4 mount system. Now we had some confirmation on Twitter by Joe Shelley that the Diablo 4 horse is getting some changes. With the patch 1.1.1, horses will now be able to jump and break through enemy barriers. Now overall, I think this is an amazing change as it has been super annoying for me to have to get off my horse, kill the enemies, and then wait 7 seconds to get back on my horse. Now the community has a lot to say about this overall with a happy response, as this is something we've been asking for a very long time. Now another thing that we have seen the community asking for is a cooldown reset of our mount after we climb a ladder. Now, as we can see on Twitter, this was asked by Adam and answered by Joe Shelley saying, "You got it." Now, from my understanding, this confirms that after we climb a ladder, we will have a full mount reset on the cooldown, meaning that you can do the ladder, get through it, and then get right back on your horse to continue moving on to your destination. Now, overall, I am very happy with these changes, and I think they will make the game better in the future. Now, however, I do still have some problems with the horse system currently in Diablo 4, one being the cursor move speed system. This is one thing I think they just need to take out of the game. It makes no sense that the farther your cursor is away from the mount, that the faster it will run. This completely does not work with controller players at all, meaning that PC players actually run faster, and it's super buggy and weird. It just needs to be removed. Let the boost just act as a all-around total max speed buff to your horse and let it run as fast as it can. Now, will this be enough changes to the mount? Now, me personally, I think they should just remove the mount cooldown entirely. I don't see why it affects the game. Now, of course, there is the theory that it does actually increase total play times by a fraction percentage, but I don't think that is the case. I think it is just a useless mechanic that really, honestly, that isn't helping anyone, and I think it needs to be taken out of the game. Now, let's move on to our potential changes to the Barber Caged Heart. Now, I don't know if you know this, how the Barber actually works, but when you are in a party and you are running the Barber Heart or anyone else, it will actually take damage from everyone in the party. Now, this is causing a lot of problems, especially for rogue characters, as many of the rogue's top classes revolve around poison. Now, with the Barber Heart, it actually absorbs all of the damage that is done by poison and doesn't actually give the effect on the enemy, meaning a lot of builds are being completely canceled out by the Barber. Now, one of the devs for Diablo 4 has stated they are looking into this, and overall, I think they just need to change it that the Barber Heart only affects the player having it equipped. Now, overall, there are a lot of problems with the Barber Heart. It is a cool idea, but a poor execution in my opinion. Now, I think it needs quite a few changes to make it back in line with the other hearts, and it still, by far, is the strongest heart, but be careful if you're running in a group, because you can really hurt your teammates there. Next, we are going to cover some player feedback for Season 1. Now, this user on Reddit is making its way to the top of the Diablo 4 Reddit page, and they are talking about level scaling. Now, let's go through this. Malignant tunnels, regular dungeons, cellars, objectives, Tree of Whispers, side dungeons, and Legion assaults. I'm level 80, and all of this beautiful content is completely obsolete. It gives me negative XP scaling fighting monsters far below my level. I want to spice up and vary the content I'm doing. 90% of the entire world of Diablo gives negative XP. How does the level scale removal make any effing sense? The worst offender by far is Malignant Tunnels. You have the brand new seasonal content giving me negative XP. Make it make sense. You make this colossal sized world with several things to do, but you strip it away and force everyone to do nightmare dungeons. Level 76 to 100 and say goodbye to the beautiful outdoor world. Please bring back level scaling. Now, overall, I do agree with their sentence, and overall the comments agree as well. Once you get past level 75 or 76, there's nothing to do in this game besides nightmare dungeons. And if you're unaware, level 85 is halfway to 100. So for half the XP grind to get to max level, you have nothing to do besides nightmare dungeons. That is it. And I don't think that is a very good way to keep endgame players in this game. I think it's definitely something that needs to be addressed. And I know that everyone's been saying that Season 1 is not the standard for seasons, but is actually going to be the least amount of content we have. And I really, really hope in seasons coming in forthward that we have confirmation of more to do than just Nightmare Dungeons. Now, yes, we see the Malignant Hearts drop in Nightmare Dungeons and in the Overworld. They are very too far and in between. Overall, when I think of a seasonal mechanic, I want it to be in every single aspect of the game. So in every single Nightmare Dungeon, if you wanted to, you could be doing something with this seasonal mechanic, in my opinion. That's the way I think it should be. And as of right now, that is not the case. Now, of course, I can't speak for future seasons or what's going to happen, but as of right now, I am not too excited with how this season has panned out. As of right now, I have 2 characters that are above level 80, and it's just not fun. The only reason I log into Diablo 4 anymore is to make builds for you guys. If I was not making content on Diablo 4, I would have stopped playing Season 1 already. Now, that said, I still am having fun trying all the new builds and trying to make something new. That is something I find fun, but the average player that doesn't care about build crafting and min-maxing, they've left a long time ago by now. Many didn't even start the season because of the preseason nerfs to every class. Now, this is something I think the developers need to take in mind in consideration into future seasons. Now, of course, this coming Wednesday on August 2nd, we do have the patch notes dropping for 1.1.1. Now, I do want to mention I will be live when the patch notes drops, going through them live, and then I'm hoping to, within the hour after they drop, have a video up here on the channel going through the patch notes for everyone. Now, with that, I hope to see you guys there. Have a great one, and maybe I'll see you guys on Wednesday.